Thank you very much, Dave. And thanks to Red Cloud for inviting me to present here, and thank you all for showing up. I'm Rob Macdonald, the Vice President of Exploration for Southern Silver Exploration, and I'd like to speak to you about our Cerro Las Meninas project, where we are developing the next major silver mine in Mexico. I am using the Verify platform, and this is the first time I've ever presented on stage with the Verify platform, so we'll see how that goes, and so I may be asking for forgiveness by the end of this. There will also be some forward-looking statements as I am a geologist, and that's really what I get paid to do. So in terms of the investment highlights, the focus is going to be on our flagship, Cerro Las Meninas. It is currently one of the largest and highest grade undeveloped silver-based projects in the world, with indicated and inferred resources totaling 350 million silver equivalent ounces. That's about 40% in the indicated category and 60% in the inferred category. We're located in a silver mining district in southeast Durango in north central Mexico. We recently, or late last year, put out a PEA, and the highlights of which featured or estimated a 15-year mine life with robust project economics, strongly leveraged to silver and zinc, high revenues and free cash flow, and balanced revenues from the silver and the zinc. We own the project 100%, and we have enough money to keep us carried through 2024 as we continue to advance the project. In terms of the upcoming company catalysts, we've completed a resource update. We're now looking at the PEA and working more on the economics and firming up the economics of the PEA, and I'll get into that in a little bit. We have two other projects, our Oro and the Hermanas projects. They are earlier stage projects located in southern New Mexico. I do have some slides in the deck. I may or may not get to them by the end of the presentation. So in terms of Cerro Las Meninas, you can see the breakdown of the mineral resource up in here, 350, and then the breakdown of the contained silver ounces, over 120 million contained silver ounces, as well as significant base metal credits. And so then that sort of puts us, with respect to our peer group, higher grade than some of the bulk mineable larger tonnage projects, and then this is tonnage down on this axis and grade up on the y-axis. And we tend to be larger with more contained ounces than some of the higher margin projects that we see here. Capital markets profile, the main takeaways here in terms of both our market capitalization and enterprise value are hovering around the $50 million mark. That translates to an enterprise value per ounce of only 17 cents per ounce, and a P versus NAV of only 13.13 times, which at this point I feel is terribly undervalued. You can see how the share price has performed over this past year, as well as we do have analyst coverage through Red Cloud and other groups. We feature an experienced management team and board with a history of success, particularly in Mexico. You'll go down through the names, and some of them will stand out as people that are, having significant success in Mexico with, Larry and particularly the Peñasquito project. Peter Cheeseborough's working with Electrum and developing the Celaya project. Roger Scammell has developed mines and projects in Mexico, deposits with Teck, and then mines with third parties. Our project portfolio, the flagship is Cerro Las Meninas. It sits in north central Mexico, out in the Alto Plano, and we have two earlier stage projects, Oro and Hermanas. They are found in southern New Mexico, with Oro being a large laramide porphyry system that we completed 4,000 meters of drilling on recently, and Hermanas is still in the permitting stage. It's a gold-silver epithermal vein system that we continue to advance. And now into the Verify part of the project. This is the location of Cerro Las Meninas. A couple of major highlights here. We're located just 70 kilometers to the northeast of the city of Durango. The highway to Torreon runs right through the property. We are surrounded by past producing and currently producing mines. And you can see there's the Avino mine, La Paria, San Martin, Martin, San Sebastian, Velardenia. So this is not only an exploration district, it is also a major mining district located in southeast Durango, a very proactive mining jurisdiction within Mexico. The other highlight is that we're out in the Altiplano, and so we're not in the mountains over in here. That sort of leaves us out of the way of the narcos. And as I like to joke, we're out in the middle of the bean fields, not the marijuana fields. It makes it a very safe jurisdiction to be operating in, and very easy logistics. And I'll highlight that again. Here is the city of Durango. The airport is a little bit closer to the property. The power station is here. We have 2 federal highways running right through the property. There's a power line that runs right through the property, a rail line that runs south of the town of Guadalupe, Victoria, which acts as our base of operations, and it's only a 10-minute drive to get up to the project area where we have our mineral resources. And this is Cerro Las Manitas. You can see off to the northeast. That's the road off to Torreon. You bring that around this way, and there's the road off to Durango, off to the southwest. And you can see off in on the background here, this is the town of Guadalupe, Victoria, and here's the access road up to the project. So again, logistics. It's like real estate: location, location, location. Breakdown of the mineral resources. The main takeaway here is that the western deposits, i.e. the Scarn Front deposit, is the largest single deposit with the resources at 18 million tons out of a total 35 million ton resource. And so the project economics, we completed the PEA effective August 29th in 2022. We show a base case after-tax NPV at 5% of $349 million. Capital is 341, so it's about a 1-to-1 ratio. The NPV converted to Canadian translates to about $1.55 a share. And so, again, on that basis, we think we're undervalued. Internal rate of return of 18%. The base case plus 15, of course, things look significantly better, and I show them here in the graph on the right here. A couple of features here, including some very robust free cash flow. It's $3.7 billion in revenues with significant free cash flow that averages over $80 million per year over the first 8 years of the project. That falls off a little bit in the second half of the mine life of the project, a 15-year mine life. And there's reasons for that, and we're addressing those by adding new resources and further engineering scheduling on the project. And again, this is also reflected in terms of the production. The annual, the modeled life of mine production is over 24 million tons. Annual production of 11.3 million ounces silver equivalent. That includes 4.7 million ounces of silver per annum. In the first 8 years, that jumps up to 13.4 million silver equivalent ounces. So it's quite a substantial project. In terms of where we see the further project upside, it's adding new deposits, and we announced some results in March where we've added another 1.5 million tons to the project, and I'll show you where that will apply to the basically to the cash flow, and effectively it'll essentially fill in this sort of gap here, so that we can maybe stretch 12-13 years at over $80 million in annual free cash flow. We've added gold, or we're looking at gold recoveries of now plus 70%. We're currently working that into the cash flow model, and to see how much, what the capital and operating may be as a result of that. And then we're also going to look at ore sorting in terms of improving the economics of the project. And so now this is the project here now. Geological map. This is a classic skarn system with a central intrusion that acts as the heat pump with mineralization. So here's the central intrusion. And there you have a zone of alteration around the central intrusion. Mineralization, the bulk of the mineralization occurs within that skarn-altered halo around the central intrusion. We also have some deposits in what we call the Blindell Sol belt, and that's just outboard of the system. And we have deposits located both on the west side and the east side. And you'll hear me refer to the western deposits versus the eastern deposits as I move through the presentation. And here they are. The western deposits include the Skarn Front, Blindell Sol, and the Las Victorias is down in this area. The eastern deposits are the more recent discoveries and additions to the mineral resource. We have the South Skarn, La Bacona, and the North Felsite deposits wrapping around the eastern side of the Cerro. And then that purple zone is the central intrusion that again acts as the heat pump to the Skarn system. It's a very classic system, very similar to the Velardenia district or the San Martin deposit, just located down to the south. This is a 3D rendering of the mineralization of the western deposits, and you can see we've got about a 1.3 kilometer strike extent and mineralization extending down to about a kilometer below surface. Mineralization is open, certainly in this area, although it's quite deep and more expensive to drill. And there are places within this area where mineralization is also open. You can see the distribution of the higher grade mineralization. This is the $150 NSR mineralization. And you can, what you may note here is that this is the projection here of the Blindell Sol, and it would seem that maybe the structures that control mineralization there are also controlling the distribution of high-grade mineralization that rakes across the central intrusion and the Skarn zone in here. On the eastern side, we have the three deposits, and again, this is the 1.3 kilometer bar, and so what I really wanted to highlight here was that we've really only drilled mineralization down to around 450 meters below surface, and meaning that there is significant exploration potential deeper, and I'll show that off in a little bit here. So then you have the distribution of the higher grade mineralization. So you have a nice shoot. You have a nice shoot here, shoot in here, and a shoot down in there, and so again, this is the further exploration potential. You can see over on the right, the depth extent of the western deposits. There's no reason why this mineralization doesn't extend to over a kilometer on the eastern side either, and that means that we have further exploration potential down in essentially these corridors as well. And this would be, after we improve the economics, we have to raise some more money, a pathway to add, maybe an additional 5 million tons or so. All things being equal, 5 million tons to the already substantial resource. This is the mine plan at this point, and this is the early mine plan that does not include the new resources from the North Felsite added in. What it features are two portals, one portal here, one portal here, and you see mineralization on the west operates for the entire life of mine, the full 15-year life of mine. The eastern portal operates for only about the first 6 years of the project. And so there, what we're seeing is, or what we believe is, that as we add mineralization in here, that's where the North Felsite mineralization is, it is going to be cumulative to the eastern deposits, and which means that that new resource is being added within the context of a 15-year mine life of the project. It's not adding on years 16, 17, 18. It's going to improve the economics of the second half of the mine plan, as the high-grade material from the North Felsite displaces lower-grade material in the scheduling, and then increases the overall production in years 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then this is essentially, the proposed mine plan. We think that there's some efficiencies that we can build into that as well, with some modular equipment as well as smaller earthworks, and basically compacting the mine site a little bit, making it smaller, and we think that there will be additional efficiencies in that. So in terms of where we are with the project, we've established permitting parameters. We've completed a spacing study for any further infill drilling as we would look to move the project from a PEA level up to a feasibility level. We have the metallurgical test work completed, and we're now on the gold specifically, and we're now working that into the cash flow for the economic assessment. Mineral resource update, that is being completed. Engineering design is in progress, and we're again adding ore sorting to the process flow sheet is a work in progress. And further exploration drilling, we'll look at that and assess how much and where we want to do that once we complete the updated PEA. And we are planning on having that in the January timeframe. It's going to take another 2-3 months to get that done, and so we should have some good news flow moving forward into 2024. And I think I've got a minute or two, and just to highlight very quickly, Oro and Hermanas, two earlier stage projects located in southern New Mexico. At Oro, we completed 4,000 meters of drilling. It's helped us vector in on some additional targeting up in this part of the property. I actually have to update this graphic as we've added now claims here and here on the Oro property, and so we've identified new targeting up in this area of the property, and then there's actually a shallow gold target over in this part of the property. And so again, why Southern Silver? Diverse assets with a property package with exposure to both precious and base metals as well as EV metals. We have robust PEA results that we are continuing to work on and looking to improve and for revision in January. We have our ongoing engineering upgrade and work going towards that PEA, and then we have new targeting at Oro, as well as in the process of permitting drilling at Hermanas in 2024. Okay, thank you very much.